Hey y'all, it's Mimi, and these are the messages. You don't see any cards quite yet because Aries, a whole stack popped out. And so, what that tells me is that whatever I'm about to tell you, there is a lot of history on it. It's something that you've been working on for a long time. If you've been noticing on the internet, there is this just talk about 2016, 2016, 2016, and it's more significant than it simply having been a decade ago or it being a 10-year anniversary of something. The point is that in real time, whether people know it or not, is that we are coming out of a karmic cycle that has lasted for the past 9 or 10 years because of the positions of certain outer planets like Saturn, Uranus. So this 10-year revival of sorts is very important. You've been learning a lot of lessons. Life has probably not been the easiest for you. You've been doing a lot of healing, a lot of learning, a lot of growing. And if you haven't been doing healing, if you haven't been doing learning, healing, and growing, you're not here. So it does not apply to you. So Aries, this has mostly been about self-worth and also just how you view money, how much you like money, how much you love money, how much you want money, how much you want to save money, and also what you want to do with money. And so I see there's some nobility there, that you have a desire. Let me move this over so you can see it. That you have a desire to give to the less fortunate. Because of that, you went searching. You were like, okay, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. Ain't that what Jay-Z said? So you decided to search and find a way to make enough money to heal the world, so to speak. It really has been a process for you, really seeking, and it hasn't been about you not being proud, especially if you come from more humble beginnings. You are proud of your humble beginnings, and that is a big part of why you want to do what you want to do. However, the search looks like it didn't lead you where you thought it would lead you. So if you thought it would lead to riches, it led to a spiritual awakening. If you thought it would lead to love, it led to a spiritual awakening. Basically, whatever you thought was about to happen ended up taking you to a spiritual awakening, no matter where your journey started. Well, not even, because your journey started looking for a way to make money and also a way to help others around you. Looking for money seems to lead to the lack of it. So if you've learned anything at all, Aries, it is that definitely searching for money and feeling like you have to save a bunch of money or feeling like you have to make a bunch of money just chasing the money did not lead you to anything except lack of money, no matter how it ended up. And so you've begun to communicate with spirit in a new way, source in a new way. For some of you, you might even started this process not over. It looks like you started communicating in a new way. I take that back. You started communicating in a new way. You started thinking about things in a new way. And so if you're going from, well, not even because you're coming from this place where money is the most important thing, now you're understanding that your mental process and your mental health, the words that you speak, all of those things are really what is truly important and what really crystallize your reality. See? So you learned. You learned, you kept learning, you kept growing. You were a student. You have been a student of the occult. You have been a student of life. You have been a student of mentors and other people. You have been a student of religions. You may have been a student of certain laws. So if that's laws, it would be laws of the universe, not laws of man. You've been studying the laws of the universe. And really, this is about you learning to harness them for your own good. And once you do it for your own good, it'll benefit those around you. But first, you had to learn to harness it for your own good and your own good alone. That process has led you to have to make some tough decisions. A lot of decisions just based on blind faith. And anybody who's had to make a decision based on faith, trust, or following your soul and going against what seems to be the current of society knows that those are hard decisions to make. But you did it. Boom. Okay, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords makes decisions quickly, effectively, efficiently. She also makes the right choices. So Aries, here's your confirmation if you just weren't sure, because in this Two of Swords energy, you definitely weren't sure. But you chose, and the decision that you chose is the right one. It's the correct one. It was the correct one. You have foresight, Aries. You know what's going on here. You studied. You didn't study for nothing, okay? So when it was time to put that into practice, you did. Even though it was hard, even though it was a decision about loyalty to self and not loyalty to others, even though it was, I can't say blind faith enough, because there's some element of you not knowing the outcome. Some element of you not knowing whether or not you were correct. It's like a scientist who really does have to test his theory. That's what an alchemist is. You have to test your theories. That's why in the book, The Alchemist, if you read it and you could, it's easy to miss the point, because you're like, he's just floating along, and he is following the current of life, which is what we all are supposed to do. And sometimes you don't know where that's going to take you, but you do know that it takes you to where you're supposed to be. Boom. Fulfillment. Exactly where you're supposed to be with this star energy. That is literally the energy of the star. Knowing what you're, being so knowledgeable in who you are and what your soul's purpose is and where you're going in life, which is awareness of the future, right? So you are so aware of the future that people on the outside will probably think that you're delulu. They would be like, oh, she is lying to herself, but you are not. Or he's lying to himself, but you are not. So don't think that. So something that feels new isn't. Something that you feel unprepared for, you are not unprepared for it. This journey feels new, but it isn't. It feels like something you've never done before, but that's not true. With this star and then this right here, you've done this time and time before. This is maybe past life energy. You've done this over and over and over again. You know exactly what you're doing. You're not brand new at this. This is what you came here for. This is what you come here for every time. I heard the luxuries of life, to help people and to enjoy life. This is what you came here for. So no, you're not. You may be doing something new in your lineage for who you are right now, but for who you have been, this is not new. Nothing about this is new. And nothing about this is a foolish journey. Nothing about this is a fool's errand. Nothing about this is, oh, I'm just going off and I don't know where I'm going. Everything about this is solid. Even though it feels nebulous, even though it feels mercurial, even though it feels wobbly, are what both of those words mean, basically. So even though it feels like it may be a shaky foundation, it isn't. You are acting out of love. You are mature. There is also love coming into your orbit. This is also you loving yourself in a more active way. But mostly the energy that I'm feeling from it is somebody watching this whole process. And I know Aries is like, well, if you saw me be broke, why you ain't cash at me? But it isn't about that, Aries. It really is about somebody seeing you really shine and be who you are, somebody seeing you, I heard come from nothing or come up from nothing. Somebody literally seeing that happen for you and being like, oh, shit, I couldn't have done it better myself. Somebody is praying for you. Somebody wants you to succeed. And somebody wants to love you. You're willing to work and they're willing to work at it. So while this process for you, Aries, has really been a whole spiritual process, a whole dark night of the soul, or just a whole new level of spiritual awakening for you, surrounding your self-worth, surrounding what you want your life to look like, surrounding how you're going to make it look like that, right? What are the real world steps going to be, right? You couldn't have been going in one direction but wanting to go in the other direction. You have to go in the direction that you want to go in order to get there. However, what has ended up happening is someone is in love with you because of it. Because of you just minding your business and putting the work in. Somebody really loves you, wants to love you, wants to put in work, wants to work with you, wants to work for you, wants to do work for you, wants to somehow sow into you so that you can do the work yourself. Right? It's like they're like, what do you need? Money? Oh, sure. I can give it to you. I have money. You need advice? I have advice. So, okay, somebody is on your level with this King of Cups. Right? Somebody is very much on your level because you show up as having as a master and having mastered something, having mastered yourself, having mastered your process, your alchemical process. And so this person also wants to master their alchemical process. So they may be working on it too, right? So also growing. So there is an exchange of information that will happen here between the two of you, but mostly it is going to be about both of you working and growing together. May not last forever, but you'll be better for it. This also is a signal that after the work happens, there will be yet another awakening. So, Aries, you're definitely going to have another awakening. It is going to change. And after that, it's like you meet the final boss. So this relationship will help you master your emotions. So Aries, you've been mastering your thoughts, mastering your mind, mastering your processes. But you haven't necessarily mastered your emotions. And that's okay. You're human. But after this relationship, after this love, after this next awakening step in your awareness process, you will. And that makes you untouchable, unstoppable, able to protect yourself, which if you're able to protect your emotions properly, so you show up open but not defenseless in relationships. Once you show up open and not defenseless, you show up comfortable, you are able to feel safe, and it will just make you a better person. Just plain and simple. It'll make you a better person. And then you'll be able to share that emotional maturity with others. So congrats, Clocks T.